Science owes more to the steam engine than the steam engine owes to science. Thousands have lived without love, not one without water. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it.
To achieve great things, two things are needed: a plan and not quite enough time. There is only one good, knowledge, and one evil, ignorance. Vision is the art of seeing things invisible. When we build, let us think that we build forever.
Untutored courage is useless in the face of educated bullets.
If in other sciences we should arrive at certainty without doubt and truth without error, it behooves us to place the foundations of knowledge in mathematics. We will make electricity so cheap that only the rich will burn candles.
You and I come by road or rail, but economists travel on infrastructure.
People who cannot find time for recreation are sooner or later to find time for illness.
John Henry said to his captain, "A man ain't nothing but a man, and before I'll let your steam drill beat me down, I'll die with a hammer in my hand."
Money, if it does not bring you happiness, will at least help you be miserable in comfort. Astronomy is much more fun when you're not an astronomer.
Listen, strange women lying in ponds distributing swords is no basis for a system of government. You can't expect to wield supreme power just because some watery tart threw a sword at you. A good plan violently executed right now is far better than a perfect plan executed next week. If you owe the bank $100, that's your problem. If you owe the bank $100 million, that's the bank's problem. Normal people believe that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Engineers believe that if it ain't broke, it doesn't have enough features yet. Right now, there are 31 satellites zipping around the world with nothing better to do than help you find your way to the grocery store. For scientific leadership, give me Scott. For swift and efficient travel, Amundsen. No innovation in the past 200 years has done more to save lives and improve health than the sanitation revolution, triggered by the invention of the toilet.
He who destroys a good book kills reason itself.
Nothing on this earth lasts forever, except maybe plastic.
There is no wealth like knowledge, no poverty like ignorance.
Create with the heart, build with the mind. If winning isn't everything, why do they keep score?
Man suffers only because he takes seriously what the gods made for fun.
I am fond of pigs. Dogs look up to us. Cats look down on us. Pigs treat us as equals.
There is a single light of science, and to brighten it anywhere is to brighten it everywhere.
All men can see these tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. The internet is the first thing that humanity has built that humanity doesn't understand. The largest experiment in anarchy that we have ever had. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. Nothing is particularly hard if you divide it into small jobs.
Bravery is being the only one who knows you're afraid.
Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
If you can walk away from a landing, it's a good landing. If you use the airplane the next day, it's an outstanding landing.
The bureaucracy is expanding to meet the needs of the expanding bureaucracy.
In preparing for battle, I have always found that plans are useless, but planning is indispensable.
If it's natural to kill, how come men have to go into training to learn how?
The purpose of education is to replace an empty mind with an open one. Men, their rights and nothing more. Women, their rights and nothing less. Scholars are the heirs of the prophets, for the prophets did not leave behind a legacy of wealth, but that of knowledge.
Nothing travels faster than the speed of light, with the possible exception of bad news, which obeys its own special laws. When you realize how perfect everything is, you will tilt your head back and laugh at the sky.
In order to rally people, governments need enemies. If they do not have a real enemy, they will invent one in order to mobilize us.
Better to fight for something than live for nothing. If you go on with this nuclear arms race, all you're going to do is make the rubble bounce. The chief incalculable in war is the human will. Not all who wander are lost. If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. What can be labelled, packaged, mass-produced is neither truth nor art.
Corporation, noun. An ingenious device for obtaining individual profit without individual responsibility.
Divide and rule, a sound motto. Unite and lead, a better one. A common mistake that people make when trying to design something completely foolproof is to underestimate the ingenuity of complete fools. Which of all my important nothings shall I tell you first? The good thing about computers is that they do what you tell them to do. The bad news is that they do what you tell them to do. Set your course by the stars, not by the lights of every passing ship.
What is drama but life with the dull bits cut out? The more we elaborate our means of communication, the less we communicate.
Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested.
Claims that cannot be tested, assertions immune to disproof, are veridically worthless, whatever value they may have in inspiring us or exciting our sense of wonder.
Most of us can, as we choose, make of this world either a palace or a prison. Pale death beats equally at a poor man's gate and at the palaces of kings. If the brain were so simple we could understand it, we would be so simple we couldn't. Every genuine work of art has as much reason for being as the earth and the sun.
The day we stop exploring is the day we commit ourselves to live in a stagnant world, devoid of curiosity, empty of dreams.
The designer knows he has achieved perfection, not when there is nothing left to add, but when there is nothing left to take away.
The law is a fortress on a hill that armies cannot take or floods wash away. Be extremely subtle, even to the point of formlessness. Be extremely mysterious, even to the point of soundlessness. Thereby you can be the director of the opponent's fate.
What is happiness? The feeling that power is growing and that resistance is overcome.
The root of the evil is not the construction of new, more dreadful weapons. It is the spirit of conquest.
Colonialism, the enforced spread of the rule of reason. But who is going to spread it among the colonizers?
As soon as men decide that all means are permitted to fight an evil, then their good becomes indistinguishable from the evil that they set out to destroy. Time crumbles things. Everything grows old and is forgotten under the power of time.
We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors, we borrow it from our children.
Only the mob and the elite can be attracted by the momentum of totalitarianism itself. The masses have to be won by propaganda. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place.
In nothing do men more nearly approach the gods than in giving health to men.
Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. He choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Our scientific power has outrun our spiritual power. We have guided missiles and misguided men. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless tempest-tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. The ancient oracle said that I was the wisest of all the Greeks. It is because I alone of all the Greeks know that I know nothing.
It is not the strongest of the species that survive, but the one most responsive to change. And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair.
There's class warfare, all right, but it's my class, the rich class, that's making war. And we're winning.
If the radiance of 1,000 suns were to burst at once into the sky, that would be like the splendor of the Mighty One. I am become death, the shatterer of worlds.
This loss of freedom means the fading from human life of values infinitely precious to it. There only remain iron-bound conditions of employment and trivial amusements for leisure.
Art for art's sake is an empty phrase. Art for the sake of truth, art for the sake of the good and the beautiful, that is the faith that I am searching for.
Destroying rainforest for economic gain is like burning a Renaissance painting to cook a meal.
Never trust a computer you can't throw out a window.
One day there will be no borders, no boundaries, no flags, and no countries, and the only passport will be the heart. The effect of the mass media is not to elicit belief, but to maintain the apparatus of addiction.
Will no entreaties cause thee to turn a favourable eye upon thy creature, who implores thy goodness and compassion?
Computers are like Old Testament gods, lots of rules and no mercy.
I do not feel obliged to believe that the same God who has endowed us with sense, reason, and intellect has intended us to forego their use.
And homeless, near 1,000 homes I stood, and near 1,000 tables pined and wanted food. The whole earth is the tomb of heroic men, and their story is not given only on stone over their clay, but abides everywhere, without visible symbol, woven into the stuff of other men's lives.
When I give food to the poor, they call me a saint. When I ask why the poor have no food, they call me a communist.